serving and being in ministry is oftentimes you kind of feel like a single parent.
Like when we are not good, my attitude or my character affects the atmosphere of our home.
Mm-hmm. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. There will be very little issues of submitting.
Some couples need to. Pastor Alex, you
grow
go
up.
first.
If I say it's because I said so, they're just gonna, step over that authority.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Forward Podcast. This podcast is all about helping you move forward in your faith. We believe that your best days are ahead of you when you move faith forward. Hit the subscribe or follow button to join the community. Let's jump into today's episode. Welcome to another episode of the Forward Podcast. If you're new here, we've got episodes on deck on our previous channel. You can check them out. There's like 20 episodes of a lot of rich, good things that I would love for you to tap into. Today is a big day. It marks the first episode where the Forward Podcast is under officially the Living Hope Church umbrella. And so we're pumped for that. There is covering here. There is resource here. And I think it's going to really help a lot of people moving forward. Traditionally, the podcast was all about helping young people in their faith. Now we have pivoted to just help people in different seasons of life in their faith journey. And so that's what the Forward Podcast is all about. In the room, I have literally my favoriteest people on the planet, starting with my lovely wife, Diana, the most requested person to be back on the podcast. What's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Well, today we have role models in our life, people that we love, cherish. The founding pastors, if I may, of Living Hope Church, people that have really been those that we can glean from, learn from. So we love you, we cherish you, Father Alex and Viki are in the building today. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Excited to be here today with you guys, and excited to be on the Forward Podcast.
Come on.
I think I was on one of the episodes live as well, and it was great, and just happy to be back. Just want to say we honor you both as well, and we love you guys. We're so excited to be together in the room, and we've been really happy to see both of you in your journey as a couple, as a family, in ministry, in life overall. It's just been beautiful to see you guys grow, and so we're just happy for you both, and let's do this.
Come on. Yes, we're just trying to follow some trails that you have blazed for us. Let's give some context. Why Father Alex? Could you tell? Because you just put it in the text message.
So last Sunday at church, and I've been, people have come up to me after my messages and said all kinds of stuff like, hey, good speech, good talk. And last Sunday at church, somebody came up and I went to introduce myself. He was a guest for the first time, and he didn't know how to address me. So he said, hey, Father Alex. And then he felt awkward, and I was like, oh, it's okay. And he's like, what should I call you? Because in the past, I've called pastors or whatever. He said, father or priest. I said, Pastor Alex is okay, but Alex is okay as well. But
maybe Father Alex is a thing. Viki, what do you think? Should we run with it?
We were all caught off guard. The kids had a good laugh in the car, but I mean, that's whatever floats your boat, I guess. Whatever you want to call him.
We can't call you Bishop yet. I mean, we got one service, one campus, but maybe Father Alex if we want to up this thing. Well, I think it would be cool giving people a little bit of insight in what does it look like to be a lead pastor, to be a lead pastor's wife. Like some of the joys, because, man, we're building something so special here at Living Hope Church. It's been so good. But also some of the weight, some of the responsibility that you guys carry. Just invite people into a little bit about what you guys kind of carry would be awesome.
We've been pastoring for 6 years. We started our church in 2020 February, and it's been a beautiful journey. We've loved it. It's been a beautiful process. It's been full of joy. Like some of the most exciting things of the process is like that God is using us. That's been like the most amazing thing to us, knowing that God is using ordinary people like ourselves. Oftentimes we feel unqualified. Oftentimes we feel like there's better people that should have been leading this church. But the miracle is that God's using us and the people that are with us on our team. So that's been the joy. And it's also been, it's kind of like you see people's story of life transformation. You see kind of where they were and now where they are. And that's the joy of it all, is to see lives changed, people dedicating their lives to the journey of faith. But also the frustration is like I'm reminded of Paul writing to the Corinthian church where he says, like, man, you guys should have been eating solid food by now, but you're still eating, you're still needing milk. And he calls them infants of Christ, or infants in their journey of faith. And so that's the frustration of ministry. So much of working with people, sometimes you see them where they should have been, but they're not quite there. But yeah, that's been the joy and the frustration all in one week in a sense of ministry.
It's really good.
Yeah, and for me, the joy for me personally is watching Alex pastor the church and lead the church, because it's just a natural trait for him. Like,
Yeah.
there's some people that just have a natural gifting, and I've always known that this is his. And I'm so grateful that he gets to live out this calling in his life. Some weight for our family for serving and being in ministry is oftentimes you kind of feel like a single parent, because you have one in the church, and so oftentimes when he's serving a lot, I have to kind of take on that role. But it's a joy. It's a joy. So the joys outweigh all of the weights that we have to carry.
That's very good. And I was just kind of thinking about it. People talk about the weight of ministry, and we felt the weight of ministry, honestly. But what I've really realized a lot is, man, it's been easier because of the strong team we have at Living Hope Church. Starting from our
Shout out.
pastoral team, starting from our staff that works at the church, our leads, man. Shout out to everybody that serves on a Sunday, week in, week out. We make Living Hope happen,
on.
and the weight
Shout
has
out to
been
Angel.
lifted
Shout out to
from us
Sam.
because of the team. So it's been great.
Okay, that's super good. And so, yeah, you guys are leading the church. Why is it important to bring your kids around? Like, I've seen Junior, your boy, since he was still younger, picking up trash, straightening rows, putting cards in the seats. Why is it important to bring your kids along the ride for the ministry?
We do it intentionally. We never force our kids to go into ministry, and my dream is not that one day my son will be a pastor like me. We want all our kids to discover their own journey.
Good.
And really be in ministry, serve God wherever God has placed them. But the reason why we've always had them come alongside is bigger than just the Sunday service. To me, it's more about instilling these virtues of life, of generosity, of sacrifice, of kindness, of love. And where can you display that, in church, where you can show that. And so why we do that is more like, we teach them at home, we practice that ourselves, we model that for them, and then it kind of just shows up on a Sunday, and that's really important to us. So hopefully they don't disappoint us of all the things that we've been investing into them over the years.
It's really good. And Vicky, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, what else are they gonna do with their time? I have a kid that's 14 that when he's bored, he will literally slither down like a snake down my stairs. I'm just like, Alex, I don't know if I should take you to get checked, but they're bored. Kids are bored.
Wow.
And sometimes
That's hecka funny.
being bored is okay, but a lot of times it's like, hey, I'm going to help you out. You're going to serve. You're going to do this.
Good.
And it teaches them from a young age what humility looks like, what having a servant's heart looks like.
So good.
And it's just been amazing, to watch them, grow in that. What else are you going to do? Watch TikTok videos,
So good. Yeah.
do all that kind of thing. So I just think that it's really good for them. It teaches them the best traits that they can have. And when they're older, they can make their own choices. But we give them what we can now, and they can do what they want with that later.
Yeah, and on Sunday, I was so impressed with Nick Francevich. He is the lead host on Sunday, and he has his little boy Cy with him, and he's like getting him involved. Hey, help me carry this sign. He doesn't need help carrying the sign. Hey, help me lift this table, push it over here. And his son is like, if that's not discipleship, I really don't know what is. You're inviting your kid into something. And I was thinking, man, I want to do a lot for my kid. I want my kids to have, I have an investment account for my kids now, and I'm putting in money, and I want to do all those things. But I think the best thing I can do as a parent, the best thing we can do as parents is instill a kingdom mindset. Hey, we serve, we give, exactly what you guys are saying. Super important.
And then something we also talk about a lot is we want Wesley, as he grows up, to love the church and not have a bitterness towards the church or be indifferent towards the church, but love the church. And he's 2 years old right now, but I feel like he already has that love towards the church. He loves going to church. He loves worship. He loves kids' church now that he started going to
He does
preschool.
love it. I see it in
And
his
so
eyes
it's so fun
during
to
worship.
see that.
He's like,
he's
Dad,
enthralled.
you're going to the office?
Are there people playing songs?
That's so
So
amazing.
it's so cool to see already from a young age that he loves the church, and we've been dragging him along with us, bringing him everywhere. So it's cool. And recently we were having dinner together as family, and Johnny was leaving to youth, and Johnny was preaching at youth, and
So proud of him.
he told Wesley, "All right, buddy, I gotta go. Make sure you pray for the people." I thought I was gonna go preach right now. And Johnny closes the door, and we continue eating dinner. And I honestly forgot about it because I was getting dinner for everybody. And Wesley, out loud, in his own way, he says, "Jesus, help the people have no more ouch in their hearts. Take their ouch away." Like, he's praying for Johnny, which is like so cool to see him, like, see the importance of prayer, see the importance of why Johnny is leaving. You know, he's not just leaving for
Man
no
of God.
reason. So that's a recent proud moment that we had with Wesley. But are there any moments that you saw your kids like be bought into the church, bought into what you guys are doing?
Yeah, let me just add real quick to that. For context, both of the examples of Nick and Wesley, for example, these are very young kids.
Yeah.
So it's never too early to get your
Good
kids.
word,
Like it's they're not too small. Like carrying a sign, being excited about worship. Like it's never too early to get your kids to serve in the church, help out, get bought in.
So good.
So just want to encourage people with that. Like, hey, get your kids wherever
So
you're
good.
serving, plug them in, get them excited because you're excited about it. A proud moment for us, like honestly, it was last Sunday for me. My son Alex, he was not on the. I think I recently added him
Yeah,
to the.
he's on planning center now.
He's on planning
Ooh.
center, so he takes it with great responsibility.
Amazing.
And he was added to the building refresh on Sundays. And yesterday, what the proud moment was yesterday was he was not on the team yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
And I was in prayer, kind of getting ready to preach. And then I walk out to the lobby. My son has the big mop, and he's pushing and he's sweeping up the lobby. And I was like, wait a minute, nobody told me to do that. And I look at him, I was like, you did a great job, bud.
So
And then I
good.
asked him later, like, "Hey, were you on the schedule? Somebody asked you?" He's like, "No." And so that's when I knew, okay, he's starting to get it. Like we're here early, an hour
So
before
good.
service, and it's time to get this building ready because people are about to come in. And so he's starting to get it as a 14-year-old. And so I don't need to tell him.
Yeah.
He's starting to feel it,
So
and
cool.
he jumps
So
in. So I was
good.
really proud of him just last Sunday.
That's right. That's Junior. He doesn't just slither like a snake. He's got potential. That kid's got a future.
Floors
Yeah.
too.
He's great. I love watching him right now in his teenage years, like just to see, because it really pays off. Like all the things you taught him, all the things that you instilled in them. Like, okay, who are you? Just watching him, who he's becoming. But for me, it's about Alex too. He takes a Bible class in school, and they had to graduate or to get a good grade in this class. They have this huge project and huge assignment, and they have to do volunteer hours. And even though kids go to Christian school, that does not mean their parents go to church. So something that me and Alex have been learning lately. So he has this project, and they have to have, I think, however many volunteer hours, maybe 2 or 3 in a church. That's a requirement for them. So these kids are fighting and trying to figure out, will my mom take me to some kind of church so I can get my volunteer
That
hours?
is wild.
And they're asking Alex, they're like, "Alex, what are you going to do? How are you going to get in?" He's like, "What do you mean? I already got more hours than..."
I can lend you hours, man.
He's like, "I have so many hours." And he said that to me with like such pride and like excitement.
So good.
Like, "Yeah, Mom, can I bring 10 of my friends to church on Sunday?"
They were asking to come to
Bring
our
'em.
church to serve so they can get their hours in.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm sure Dad can. You guys can sweep up over there or something." But it's cool to see that he's not hiding it. He's excited about it, and he'll tell his friends like how excited he is that he gets to serve, and he's carrying it with pride. Like, "Yeah, my dad's a pastor. I get to serve the church. I already did my part. You guys figure yours out."
So funny.
So good.
Well, continuing the subject, do you have any advice for us as we're raising church kids? We're in the little years with a toddler and a baby, but is there anything that we should or shouldn't do? Things that we should say no to? Like, how do we discern? When do we drag our kids along? When do we leave them at home? Kind of like, how do we navigate that whole
don't
thing?
force them, and so I think just like a nice little balance maybe there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say don't force it. I think maybe what's most important is to model for your kids that you love church. And if they see that you love church, like I get to go serve from, oh man, we got to go serve this Sunday. I got to go stack chairs. Like, no, we get to do this. And if you model that for your kids, they will buy into it.
So good.
And so for that for us, that was important. Like, I grew up as a pastor's kid, and we were kind of forced to go to church, and we turned out all right. So praise God for that. But like, I want our kids to like love going there because we love going there, and we love our church.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if we were not pastoring, we would probably be a part of a healthy church, and we would probably giving it our best and being generous and just being there. And so our kids would have saw it either way. But I would say for anybody with younger families, like model love for the church,
Real good.
and your kids will just follow along.
Yeah, Alex mentioned that we don't want our kids to like hate ministry work. And I think a lot of times that kind of reflects back on the parents. There's a saying that pastors' kids will say, like, my dad cared more for the ministry than he cared for me. And we never want our kids to grow up thinking, oh, dad cared so much for the ministry that he put us on the back burner. That's a dangerous thing for us to model for them and for them, to witness and to think about. So we want to make sure our kids have all the opportunities they have in life. And just because we're a ministry couple and that we serve the church doesn't mean that, hey, you can't do this, this, or this. And a lot of times, I mentioned before, that means I will have to, take on that responsibility and say, you have to do, I get to do this with you. Dad's busy. Dad's doing that. Um, but it's great to model for them and to make sure that they can see us in the ministry all the time, because then they can see that for themselves. And like parents have a joy. Parents love this. This is great. They take us along. And something that I was thinking about lately is you can be the best pastor and be the worst parent. Like you can be the best person in ministry and still fail the ministry that you have at home, which is your most important ministry. So something that we have been thinking about lately, like we're not putting our kids in the back burner. We're taking them along with us. We get to show them the joy in this ministry, and we're hoping that their heart follows. It's not something that they just do, but it's a lifestyle, and they can see that this is what we do as our family and in our home.
Yeah, and now that my two kids are older, they sit in on Sunday services, and so now I think intentionally of like, okay, my kids are in the room. How am I preaching? What am I preaching about? Will they understand? And honestly, like I ask for Alex's feedback. Like the sermon will be over, and we'll drive home, and what stood out to you? Or I'll ask him like what worked, what didn't. And now my two teenagers are not critiquing, but giving me kind of feedback,
Yeah.
and at the same time what they learned, and so. Oh wow, we get to speak into Dad's sermon preparation or sermon recap moments, and so it's been kind of just these little nuggets of like building a love for the church in our hearts, in the hearts of our children, and that's been beautiful to see.
That's what you always tell me, right? Like kids want to be involved in what you're
They don't
doing,
wanna be
and so
distracted,
if you're
yeah.
pulling them in at any age, they're like, okay, this is what we do. We go to church, we build a church, and so super good. Well, love that. Let's talk about parenting now. Maybe some principles, some practices. You guys, what we have learned from you, I've learned this before I was even in love, and even when we were dating, engaged, and coming over, and even as now married with two kids, I've always noticed in your house, at your table, it's a sacred place. There's no phones. You're eating a lot of good food. Everyone's present. There's questions. You're really good, Pastor Alex, at creating moments and engaging people. Like, talk about, maybe just speak to that, the sacredness of the dinner table.
I mean, yeah, you just made me feel really old because you went back saying how long ago I've been doing this. So yeah, we've been married 15 years. Our oldest is 14. So yeah, we've been doing it for a minute. But I don't know. I've always felt the importance of creating a space in the home where the family gathers at the dinner table. And I understand everybody's schedule is different. Some people work night shifts, so the husband or the wife is not home, and so it's not so much about the dinner table, but it's about like finding within a 24-hour window where you guys are together around the meal. So it could be breakfast, it could be lunch, but to me, it's important that we come home together, usually all together around 4 o'clock, and so we'll have dinner at 5. That's our routine, and yeah, it's mama's cooking, rarely takeout because we want our kids to taste mama's cooking. It's the best in the world.
That's right. And it's healthy.
Yeah, and it's healthy and it's made with love and intention, and it takes longer, but it's really important that the kids eat that. And by the way, your cooking's great, and
We can testify.
yeah, but
thanks,
it's
guys.
it's really more of coming home together, slowing down everything. We just had a busy day at work, busy day in ministry, busy day in school. Now we're home. We breathe. No phones at the table, except for the toddler stage. We had to compromise some rules so they would actually eat and
keep the
survive.
peace.
There's always an exception to the rule. All my kids are like, really? We all have
Yeah.
to follow the rule, but Olivia,
Yeah.
please give
go
5
with it.
bites.
It's the youngest
please.
child. Like,
Yeah.
what do you? It's just how it is.
We were just trying to make her survive and eat and have some kind of calories. So,
Survival mode.
but there's no phones at the table. We never eat on the couch. And so that's been our practice for forever. And create meals that are fun, that are interesting, that we enjoy together. But it's more just about it's more than just about the meal. For me, it's like, okay, what conversations are we having? What are we talking about? What happened in your day? And honestly, like you have to be very intentional, because if you ask a teenager like, "How was your day?" Good.
Good.
Like, what'd you learn today at school? Nothing. Bro, I paid for that school. What'd you learn today at school?
Better tell me
Like,
something.
yeah. And so you have to get creative of
So
asking
great.
questions. And through the years and different seasons of the kid's life, you have to do that. But the standard ones that I always fall back on is like, hey, tell me one fun thing that happened today.
This is
Tell me
good.
one thing you learned. And
Okay.
tell me one act of kindness you did. And so
Ooh.
now the kids think of like, oh, dad's going to ask us. And so like,
They gotta
oh,
do it.
And you're
Yeah.
consistent in that.
Yeah,
One fun thing,
yeah.
one thing you learn.
those are the three
one
standard
act of
questions
kindness.
that we periodically go back to.
Write this down for me,
so-
somebody. This
and
is
so,
great.
like,
Record it.
Now the kid is encouraged. Like, I mean, honestly, they're kids. So like, oh, I held the door for my teacher.
We'll take that.
Wow, we'll
Yeah.
take that. Like,
Yeah.
but we're helping them think kindness. Think
Yeah.
of like, oh, fun is great. Kindness is important. And things like that. So that's kind of been our practice around the dinner table for a long time. And then yeah, like then when it comes to Friday, maybe we'll talk about that later. But when it comes to Friday, then it's a little bit like a family night now, and so there's a little bit more like maybe some
Fun.
blueberry pie or something
Oh,
like
snap.
that, to where it's a little bit
Never
slower.
made a blueberry pie in my life.
What was that blueberry thing we made? The
What is that thing
thing
called?
that folds.
Galette?
Yes.
Is that it?
Ariana
Close
started
enough
making
to a
it.
pie.
Call it a pie. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what galette is, dude.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Sounds like a weapon, bro.
It's a much easier version of a
Middle
pie.
Ages.
Ariana makes it, so
So
that's
good.
been that's been the cool thing about it.
Oh, man.
So I mean, I think what's important to learn here is that hey, as a family we come together, we look into each other in each other's
Yeah.
eyes, we ask questions, and as the kids get older, they tend to close up. They won't talk as much, and you have to create space where you get questions out of
Do
them.
you ever have this struggle? I have this struggle, and I'm trying to get better. It's like checking out. Like I sit at the table and I'm eating, and I'm not like on the phone, but I'm just like my
Mentally,
mind is
yeah.
drifting, and that's why I hit you up and I was like, "What was the question game you used to play?" And now this is what we do. I mean, yeah. Anything you want to say?
I mean,
on
yeah,
that?
there's questions that you can like buy a box, like conversation starters.
Yeah.
Those are great too. Those are
Yeah.
helpful tools. But it's a tendency, especially of hardworking men, to come home and their mind is still pacing.
Yeah.
And so the art is you have to learn to like turn it off or slow it down or like put everything away and like, okay, I'm gonna be here. And if I still need to get back to a voice message, if I still need to get back to an email, I
Very
might
good.
do that later. But I try not to practice that. But like I'm here and I'm learning to be here as much as I can.
Here's one of the things I got convicted, and I was listening to a podcast. I forget who was saying it, but the way your kid can feel most loved is when they actually know that you're listening to them and you're looking them in the eyes. I'm really good at words. I love you. You're the best. But it's like, and I'm getting challenged. Like, okay, I got to look at this boy in his eyes and hear his story and
Yeah.
try to understand how he thinks, and that's how he leans in. But yeah, we use the questions now. I forget what is it
Wesley asked
called.
for them. I don't remember.
You can find them on Amazon. But yeah, what's what? Ask them. Maybe we can do the questions.
He loves answering the
And he
questions.
doesn't even understand them, but he would just say some random answer. And it's fun.
But the fun thing about the questions is that oftentimes they'll lead to a serious conversation.
Yeah.
True.
They'll be a
Yeah.
fun.
True.
They'll be joking around, but it'll spark
Yeah.
something that's gonna
Meaningful, yeah.
like meaningful. Yeah. Anything you want to add, babe?
Yeah, I'll talk about like our schedule. So dinner table is a priority in our home, and our schedules are a little crazy. You'll kind of hear
Yeah.
about it later, but when something is a priority, you make time for it and you figure out how to move, different parts in your life. So we went through a season to where we realized, okay, this is going on the back burner. Like we're not home enough to have dinner together.
Because for context, like Alex has sports in the evening, and
Yeah.
so we would not make it home 2 days a week or something like that because we stay in Kent, which is further from our house.
Yeah. So what I kind of started doing is like, okay, well, you guys can't come home. I'm going to bring dinner to you. So started 2 times a week when I'm home, I make a regular meal that we would have at home, apart from like something super fancy, obviously. Pack it all up in
Wow.
a little picnic box, take it to his office. We got a table up there, we set it all up, and we have family dinner at work. And it's
So
silly
creative,
sometimes because
yeah.
I'm dragging so many things. But I'm like, no, you guys are not going to go get chicken sandwiches again,
the
or
value
no,
of
like
that
you're not
moment,
you're
yeah.
not doing this. For me, it's important to see like our kids eating healthy foods, and not, just because we can't do that in our busy season doesn't give us an excuse to go out or to do that. So this is something we've been doing, and it's kind of crazy at times, like the amount of things I'm bringing.
But it's fun. We're all
It's
eating at a
fun.
small, tiny table. Where at home we have a bigger table, but now it's at a shop, at the break room, at work. You're eating at
Yeah.
a tiny table.
There
so
needs to be a shirt or something that says no excuses and like a
Yeah, you
pan
really
and a
you
little
really have
thing.
no excuses. If it's a priority for you, you're going to make
Powerful.
time for what's a priority. If dinner table is a priority, figure it out. Bring the table with you if you have to bring it. I don't know.
Powerful.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and back to like, hey, everybody's schedule's different. Some people work heavy weekends, and so they're not present. Then there's weekdays, maybe go Tuesday, Thursday, like a really good breakfast or dinner.
Yeah.
So it's just creating a space within 24 to 48 hours where the family's together,
Yeah.
and that's non-negotiable.
Yeah. Super good. I mean, people have been telling me, we've been hearing that rule of like 3 to 4 meal times together at least a week. Now let's talk about your rhythm, because you guys are good at the sacred table, but I think you guys do something like a family day. You said family night. You can go anywhere with this, because what you do really good at is like when kids hit a certain milestone, you take a special trip with them. I don't know if you guys do like the one-on-one dates, whatever. Like what else do you guys do to keep the family healthy?
Yeah, so we have 4 kids, 14, 12, 9, almost 6. And so every season's different.
Yeah.
And so like for us weekly, and it's not like 52 Fridays a year, but like
Sure.
Friday is our family evening, and it starts from 3 p.m. when we pick up kids from school until usually end of Saturday, but
'Kay.
mainly Friday evening into Saturday morning. And so that means we're home together as a family. It's slow, or we're doing something together. Most likely being home. And now summer's coming around the corner. It's bonfire nights. It's making something outside, slower process. Vicky and Ariana will bake something. We watch a show together that we all like, and just being together, and not really going somewhere to spend money, but just really being
Yeah.
in each other's company. And so that's kind of like the weekly thing that we do. I don't have a consistent schedule on date nights, but with the girls, it's periodically, and it's easy to do date nights with the girls because as soon as you do one date night with Ariana,
She's
the other
happy.
2 are jealous, and so they're like, "When's my turn?" And so like, well, we gotta
Gotta
get it on the
schedule
schedule.
it.
Well, Daddy scheduled it, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check
There's
your
a lot of
calendar,
fighting.
and so they go look at their board in the kitchen. And I'm like, what day are you available? And they just make something up. And so like,
Olivia's like, I can go right now.
That's so
so
sad.
we try to like, I think
Aw.
every other month would be probably realistic that I end up going somewhere just with one of the
Wow,
kids.
that's really good.
With Alex, it's easier because I'm his personal Uber driver for all his things, and so we're spending weekends together at a tournament on Saturday
Yeah,
sometimes. So we
yeah.
do a lot of date nights as guys together. That's kind of what we do, like on a consistent rhythm. Yeah, concerning the trips, like I read a book by Bob Goff a while ago. He was a lawyer, and then he's a Christian writer, great writer, and I forgot the name of the book, but Love Gives, I think it was. But in there, he shares an example that what he's been doing is every decade he takes his kids on a trip, wherever they want to go around the world, whatever they want to do, of course at a reasonable whatever
Yeah,
your income allows you
Go to
to.
Greece.
Yeah, and that's what he was doing. I'm staying in the States. But he had this idea of like every decade when they turn 10, 20, 30, he would take his kids on a trip somewhere, wherever they want to do. And I picked up on that tradition. And so we've done it with Alex and Ariana, and Addie's already planning her out.
Aw.
And she wants to go to
So
Texas.
cool.
Why? I don't know. Texas just sounds
She
so
wants
cool
to eat
her.
steak.
And she just wants to go eat steak somewhere nice. And so
love that girl.
what that looks like is just 2 days away, and we're just hanging out. It's all about her. With Ariana, we had a great time in Miami. We went to all the acai bowl places. We went to the beach. We went to do like zip line and stuff like that I'm scared of. I'm scared of heights. I was shaking on that zip line, but I did that because she likes that and she's into that stuff. We did the little wheel thing in downtown Miami, and anyway, so all that fun
She
stuff.
came back so swollen and burnt because her dad didn't think sunblock was needed out of
Hey, it wasn't hot.
Florida.
he never wears sunblock, bro.
Before her birthday party, she's like, I can't have my birthday party. I'm like, this is why you don't go on trips with your dad.
Hey, we had fun. Hey.
I'm joking. She had
That's all
such a
that
great time.
counts.
And our agreement with the kids is like, I'm taking you on your 10, 20, and maybe 30, and after that, you guys taking me.
Yeah,
And then
there you
after
go.
that,
That's a
it's
good
summer.
deal. I like that.
So, but anyways, just like everybody's like situation's different in life, but like you don't need to take a trip. Like you can just pack a backpack and go camping and go spend a weekend. You know,
Yeah.
you don't need to go far. You don't need to spend a lot of money.
But
Just
make
need to
it
be
meaningful.
intentional.
Yeah, so good. You
Just
guys
to
are
add a
great
little bit
parents.
about rhythms, like don't let your schedule be the reason you can't spend time with your kids. So again, busy schedules, and we figure it out. Alex right now is watching some kind of Nick guy on YouTube that makes this amazing food, and he wants to
My
cook.
son Alex, by the way.
Yeah.
not
I was
me.
like, whoa.
Sorry, our 14-year-old.
I
And
eat
he
good
wants,
food. I don't
he
make
wants
good food.
to cook. And originally he would just try to make up his own recipes. And he would pretend that he liked them really bad until like Ariana would try it and be like, "This is the nastiest thing I've ever tried." He's like, "It's good." So I'm like, "Hey, bud, like I'm in the kitchen every single day. I'm making dinner. Join me in making dinner. I'll teach you kind of how things go, and then you're gonna learn that way." And so when I'm making dinner, he comes downstairs. "Hey, mom, can I help you make dinner? Like, what are we making today? What can I do?" And he's learning, spending time with me, and he's understanding his passion. He's growing in that, and I think that's amazing. Like, we're working at it together. He's not just sitting there watching YouTube videos. And yeah, we're busy, but we just kind of make it work with what we have.
Yeah, that's really good. Yesterday we had a little bit of a slower day, so it was Memorial Day, and we were listening to the song. So we were spending a lot of time with like our family and stuff, and we started listening to a song called "These Are the Days," and I a little bit teared up where I was talking about like how the kids will leave you, you know, like they're gonna go off and do their own thing, and so thinking about that, how do you
Let's give them the line. It says like, so read them bedtime
Sing it out.
stories.
Go, John.
You know,
Yeah.
that whole thing. It's just
it's
like,
just like
oh,
before
man.
you know it, this whole house would be quiet. It's just like it's talking about like them leaving you, you know. And so, can you speak about slowing down and enjoying your kids now as you have like a little bit of like school age kids, a little bit of older kids? How do you slow down and enjoy them?
Yeah.
But even
There's
the
this.
importance of it, you
Yeah.
know, because we're just like, I feel like I need to get punched in the face
Yeah.
sometimes
Right.
to say,
Right.
hey, because I'm watching
gonna
you
miss
guys that are a
this,
little bit
yeah.
ahead. I'm like, oh, time out. My kid's not going to want to hold my hand on the walks
Yeah.
anymore. There ain't no way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a viral video that was on social media, and I don't know if the stats are accurate, but they're pretty close. That by the age of 12, you've spent 75% of your life with your kid. By the age of 12, and then the number keeps decreasing. Why? Because like from 12 to like 18, now they're trying to be independent, more with their friends, more with their peers, not so much with their parents. And then the rest of your life, you'll spend time with your kids as they're adults now. So really, the kid stage, or some of them they call them the golden blink, that's the best stage. From like, let's say from 2 to 10, that's like the most beautiful season of life as parents. And as your kids get older, like if you watch me,
Yeah.
you see me like really attached to toddlers because
Yeah,
we're out of
yeah,
the
yeah.
toddler stage. Our youngest is almost 6. And the reality is this: there'll be a day where your son will not want to hold your hand anymore. That happened to me. There'll be a day
Cry
where
right now.
you're like, I still have one and a half daughters left that will run to me when I come home from work, and that was always been precious. That's been always part of my life.
Yeah.
Now the older 2 will not run to me when I come through the doors. The younger 2 will still come, and so that's just the reality of it. So what does that mean? Like, life does fly by. There will be a time when the kids are not so attached, or we are looking at older parents as well that are, you know, maybe preparing their kids for relationships and all that. And so like being intentional and understanding that 14 years is like this. It is a blink, and let us live a life to not regret. Because yes, it does fly by, but like you don't want to be on the other side and be like, man, I wish I
wish.
spent more time. Man, I
So
wish I
good.
took more weekends. Man, I wish nobody's gonna be like, man, I wish I worked more hours
Yeah.
during my kids' younger years. And so to me, it's like, hey, even business ideas can wait. Even like pursuing a career sometimes can wait until later on. Maybe building that dream house can be later on. But the golden years of kids of under 12, most beautiful stage.
The
I
golden
love
years.
it, and we
We're
miss
in the
it.
golden years.
Yeah, you guys
These
are
are
in
the
the golden-
days.
These are the days.
That went back.
And the reality is, like, back to that song, like bedtime stories. Like, you know, we have a strict schedule, and Olivia has to go to sleep earlier because she needs to get her sleep. And so we have this thing in our where mom says no more bedtime stories because we need to hurry up because we're already running behind schedule. And so we have an inside thing that mom doesn't know. Hey,
She knows.
Hey,
I know.
yeah. And hey,
can hear you guys
hey,
downstairs.
Dad, can we have Sprite today? And Sprite is code for bedtime stories.
Sweet.
And so like,
This is amazing,
yeah,
dude.
hey, we'll have Sprite today. And so like we're brushing our
Because
teeth.
I
or-
totally would agree to Sprite, but not bedtime stories. Who thought of that
More
word?
believable.
Hey, you don't know what it
Sure,
means.
you can have Sprite before bed.
And so
So amazing.
and like this is off topic, but like Olivia sleeps with us. She's 6,
Yeah.
and we often let her into our bed because we just miss that.
She only sleeps with us on Fridays.
Okay, but still,
Well, no, to this point, Wesley, we're first time parents, and so you know, first time parents,
Yeah, by the
bunch
law.
of knuckleheads by the law. And then you said something that stopped us in our track, like, oh, I'm not gonna sleep train my child.
I'm gonna rock my baby.
Okay, you're making me.
I'm not gonna hold them no more.
Well, everybody
you know?
got to do what's
Yeah.
best, but
yeah, but like I was
yeah.
like, all right, time out. Why do I want to just put this kid down?
Yeah.
Like the other day, it was Memorial Day. I was like, I'm napping with you,
Yeah.
bud, because
There
I'm
you
not
go.
going to get to nap with you.
Yeah.
And so just watching your guys' life has been so helpful
Yeah.
to
Johnny,
us.
one of my best memories I have a picture of Alex napping on my chest. He was about Wesley's age, 3 years old, and he's laying across me like this, and we're both napping. And I'll take that back any day. Like to nap with me
sweet.
again, I'll do that again. And so, like, I mean, every parent has different rules and
Yeah.
things they live by when it comes to
Sure.
naps, sleeping in the room, not sleeping in the room. We allow Olivia to stay with us because she's our baby, and she's almost 6 on Fridays. And I mean, we love it.
We don't have an expiration date for her to get out of bed.
Yeah,
We don't know when
we
that's gonna come.
we always like 2 days in, like, oh, you gotta sleep in your own room, but then we're like, come on.
Yeah.
I love the saying, and I hate the saying, "This too shall pass." It's the reason I hate it is because, or I guess I'll start with why I love it. You have a little baby, you have those nights, and you're like, okay, this is gonna pass. All these sleepless
better
nights are
pass.
gonna better pass, and you have that saying in your mind. But we forget that that saying also applies to the first cry, of right when the baby enters the world, the first steps, the first smile, the first time they go to school. It all is gonna pass, and it passes by so quickly. Like if you look at your baby is a baby for the first 5 years, kind of, in that like toddler stage.
Sure.
It's so short compared to the vast majority of
Yeah.
your life, and that's why I'm not like. I guess my mindset changed when we had Olivia, our fourth. I don't know if it was because I was older, or I think it was just because I've realized what happens with my other kids.
Yeah.
They're not so cute and nice to me anymore as they get older. And when I had her, I remember she would wake up in the middle of the night, and there was times where I just had the biggest smile on my face. I'm so sleep deprived. I'm tired, and I pick her up, and I'm just like, I get to hold you. I get to be with you. I get to have extra time with you. And this is such an honor and a blessing for me as a mom. Like, I know that some moms don't get that. So just holding and cherishing her and during those years changed my perspective. And kind of what you said, Johnny, about like looking at your child in the eye. I think a lot of us in this era that we're living in have to post pictures and always record our kids and like always post them on social media. But it's not in those moments that you really are intentional with them and you get to see their hearts. Like sometimes just sit down, put a coloring book out or some cars with Wesley and just talk to them. Like, you don't even know where they're coming from. Like, what is in your brain? I can't believe you're thinking that. I can't believe you're saying that. And it's just like when all the noise dies down, there's no cameras, you're not taking photos, you're not posting things, and you're just present with your children. That's how to make those moments last the longest, I think.
That's so good. That's so like perfect for our season right now. Take us all in. But for the next subject that we wanted to tackle is kind of a hot topic. I feel like a lot of people are talking about, especially like in our life group, we've talked about it a lot, and it's about technology. And so, how are you two approaching technology, screen times, phones with your kids?
Okay. So I heard this from, I think I went to like a conference, and one of the speakers, actually Abby Halberstadt, the book that you say that I like,
Did you say?
I do like the book. She wrote Emma's for Mama, and hard is not the same thing as bad, but I love listening to her podcasts. And I think they have 10 kids, all different ranges. And one of the things that she mentioned is they don't give their kids phones as a gift. So on Christmas, your child will not receive a phone. A phone is a tool that belongs to me. I pay for it. It is mine. I give it to you as a tool to use. That means I can take it back. It's not a gift that I gave you for Christmas. You're not going to take a gift back from a
Not your
kid.
phone.
It's not your phone. And unless you live under my roof and I pay the bills, it's my phone. Makes it so much easier as we parent Alex. We take that phone so many times, I don't even care. Like Alex is just like, we're driving to church. Give me your phone.
Yeah, he was just.
Give me your phone.
I just looked back and he was playing some kind of game. I was like, "Give me your phone." I put the phone in the glove compartment for the rest of the day. And I said, "You're not getting it until we get into the driveway.
Yeah.
No questions asked."
And this is a real thing because I've heard from parents like they have this tension because
It's their phone.
the kid won't give up the phone. There's like this whole drama around it. But this approach of like, hey, this is my phone. I'm gonna let you use it,
Yeah.
and when I want it back, I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah.
So helpful.
Another thing we do is like, we're not perfect at this because he still doesn't understand the fully, but like he's not allowed to be in his phone while using the restroom or in his room. Like the phone stays in the playroom or downstairs unless he asks to call to talk to somebody.
Sure.
It's something that we're implementing now, so the kids understand your phone is in a public area where we see what you're doing. If he asks to play games, we let him play games. We're not like you're done. Like we're not a fan of Roblox or stuff like that, but like if he has games downloaded on the phone, he can play it with that certain time limit that he has. Alex has some parental things on his phone and time limits, but
So good.
we're still going to give him access to this world. Like I tend to see where parents take everything away completely and then you give it to them, then they like binge it and they have an unhealthy relationship with it. So like you have your phone, this is the times you can use it. And so we, during the weekdays, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that as much. Like we stick to homework, reading stuff, but on the weekends, he's basically free to use his phone for however much time we let him. And he's really good about, keeping his boundaries with that.
Just for context, Alex is 14. He has a Wi-Fi phone. He doesn't have his own phone number. Ariana's 12. She has an iPad with a Wi-Fi access, and everything's obviously where the house is, where the Wi-Fi is, so it's under our roof. They don't just get to go wherever they want with their phones. Our plan is when Alex is 15, which is near around the corner, he would get his own phone and his own phone number. But the process that we have in place that we haven't done yet is he will have to I saw this at a conference, a really great idea that we're going to do for Alex. It's called the cell phone permit. And so before your kid gets his own cell phone, he has to go through like a driver school, a permit. You have to go through class, finish the course, pass the exam, and then you have the permit to be able to know how to function and use technology, social media, and so that's in the works as well. But the cell phone is going to be given when they're older, when there's a need for it. Why do you need a phone? To play games? Well, no. Go play a board game. If you need to call grandma to order, some Ukrainian food, sure. Like maybe that's why you need a phone. So like our point is like a 10-year-old doesn't need a phone. An 8-year-old doesn't need a phone.
And I think people can say, man, that's ridiculous.
Sure.
A permit. But like that phone is so much more dangerous in my opinion than a car. Like, sure, they can get in a wreck, but like the amount of damage that we see right now in young people because of the phone, my goodness. And so I love this is encouraging. Like, have a plan. I think that's the message. Have a plan. Have boundaries. Make sure you don't just like, hey, here's this thing that can destroy your life, but really with some healthy guardrails.
And it's not so much that the kids are doing something bad. The danger is like the amount of hours they're on the phone is damaging their brain, their development. So it's not so much that we don't trust Alex because he's going to go do something bad, or Ariana. It's more like, wow, you don't need to spend 4 hours a day on technology. You're fine with an hour.
Yep.
And so,
really
and what is it? Usually games, usually like calling their sibling or friends and stuff like that. So all of that is not needed for their development. In fact, it hinders it and it damages. So that's the main reason why we set up guardrails of technology, is just to help them be creative. Hey, you can go play piano. Hey, go read a book. Hey, do other things maybe they don't like, but it's helping them develop as a child. And technology and phones, they slow that down.
Really good. Deanna, maybe you can speak on like the toddler stage, because I feel like you do a really good job. I'm just your partner in crime here. But like that's teenager, super good. But like maybe just inspire some moms and dads out there. Like, hey, there's a way to go about this with even your little ones.
Well, I first want to touch on what Vicky said. Like, we don't want to take something away and then when they turn 18, here you go. Here's the phone. Here's the all internet access. I like that you said that, because I remember listening to a podcast where they were talking about you want your kids to learn how to use these things under your roof with your guidance. So it's like you don't want to just take things away from them and then just give them free reign. It's like you want to entrust them with more and more, and you want to discipline them with these things and teach them responsibility. And so I love that you said that too. But with Wesley, when we first had him, we were first-time parents, and I remember just being like, we don't want to be those parents that like use screen time. And every parent says things that they're not going to do or they're going to do with their kids. And sometimes those things fall through.
Yeah.
But that is something that we actually have stuck with. We, like in restaurants, we haven't used screen time. And
Good job,
at
guys.
home, we don't really use
Only for
screen
haircuts.
Only for haircuts, because that was traumatizing for him. But for the most part, for his first 2 years of his life, we did absolutely no screens, not at home, not at restaurants, not in the car. And of course, this is different for each family. They need to decide what is right for them. But we actually stuck to our guns. I don't know if it was like us being convinced that that's important, or us just being stubborn and being like, no, we're actually going to do this. But we see like great benefit already. He's almost 3 and he can sit through a family meal. He can just be in car rides and looking out the window and looking, oh, there's a tractor or this, that. And I think the way that we did it was really helpful for our family to build him and kind of have him grow up and be able to hold a conversation and not always have to be distracted.
So it's possible.
It is possible.
great.
Come on,
Great
praise
job.
God.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Yeah, he did not miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So great job.
If anything,
Starting
yeah.
something early is a lot easier than changing something later. So start
Yeah.
with everything with your little kids. Like if you're listening, feed them all the organic stuff in the beginning. Don't give them the sugar.
Okay.
Don't give them the
Yeah.
screens.
Yep.
Start them early. An avocado tastes a lot better than formula. So you don't have to go straight from formula to candy. You can go
Good
little
thought, good thought, good
steps,
thought.
and you're gonna love that. Like it's such a good thing to do that. Start early.
Maybe one more question on the parenting stuff, and then we'll transition to marriage. Just on maybe the discipline side of things. What do you guys recommend? What do you guys do? I think it's another one of those subjects that are like in our community. A lot of people have toddlers, so we're all trying to figure it out. Do you spank? Do you not spank? Like all that stuff. Any wisdom you can shed inside that?
At our family, we have this unofficial approach: good cop, bad cop. Oh, so I'm the good cop.
Guess who I am?
So all the disciplining questions go to her.
There you go, Vika. Let's go.
Okay. Were you gonna say something about spanking?
No, I don't know.
I'm joking. He didn't. He didn't know if he should say anything about spanking.
No, I think basically my approach. I'm not against spanking your child. I think there's some wisdom there. Of course, it's under normal, strength of your body and making sure you're not hurting the child, but letting them know who's in charge. I probably spank each kid 5 times in their lifetime.
If that, and it's always like,
It hurts me
Alex
more
is
than
like-
them, and so
really? That's how you spanked her? That's how you spanked me when I was little.
yeah. And so like it's so whatever the route is of discipline, spanking, timeout, whatever. It's more of like, what is the goal that I'm trying to accomplish through discipline? What's the outcome?
Yeah.
Who's in charge? The child that's throwing the tantrum, or am I in charge? Who knows better what needs to happen next? And so I think the Bible speaks on discipline for us as believers, not because God is angry with us or wants to harm us or always disappointed. It's like it's for our good. It's to mold us and shape us and form us into who we ought to become. And so I think the same, if God has discipline set in place for us as believers, much more so we as parents for our children, we should also follow God's model. And that's my take on it, like discipline. But what we do at home practically is Vicky, because she's the master at it.
Well, we'll see how our kids turn out. No, I'm joking. So for me, something that I like to remember is discipline does not change their behavior. It changes their heart. So if you're trying to just change that quick fix behavior when you have little toddlers, just so you can move on with your day, is not discipline. That's just, I'm going to put a Band-Aid on this. We're going to figure it out later. Like, I'll give them the candy at the store so they stop throwing the tantrum, and we're going to figure it out later. So for little kids, and I mentioned this when we were speaking at Mother's Day, hard is not the same thing as bad. You have to go work through the hard moments. There's not bad moments. Those hard moments are what really changes their heart, parenting them in a way that's not just going to change the behavior. We don't have quick fixes with little kids. With older kids, I love how parents will say, "You're doing this because I said so." That doesn't help anybody. I that's the one thing I have not said to my kids, because I remember hearing that when I was growing up, and I'm like, no, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? And then we sit down and we figure out why you can't do this. If I have a legitimate biblical reason why you can't do this, they understand why they can't do this. If I say it's because I said so, they're just gonna, step over that authority.
Yeah.
Well, mom said so, I don't care. And discipline is very important if you have a relationship with your child. If you don't have a relationship, they're not going to listen to your discipline. A relationship is very important, tied close to discipline, just how Jesus has a relationship with us. He disciplines those he loves. We do that with our children.
That's really good.
We discipline them, we love them, we care for them. Nobody is going to want anything better for your children than parents. Like, we do it out of love. We don't do it because we're mean. And I like to tell my kids that often, like, I'm not doing this because I'm mean, I'm doing this because I love you. And they love when I say that. They really love it.
Yeah, I think there's so many different like schools of thought on discipline. I feel like Wesley, he is such a good child, but he's a firecracker, and sometimes I find like the rod is okay for him, but it's always like you taught me this, like never use your hand. We have a palka. It is labeled palka on his little spatula. And Deanna's been helping me with this too, to not like, to make sure he knows what's the whole thing, like he knows the reason why before you ever do. You know, like, hey,
Like
if you do
will be
this,
the consequence,
you will
yeah.
get timeout. If you do this and
This will
timeout didn't
happen.
work, it's usually our things like, then you're gonna get the palka, and then usually he doesn't do it. But there's sometimes where, what's the whole thing about Henry Cloud with the oak tree, like where he's just like butting
You're-
up.
Yeah, you are supposed to be the oak tree for your child, and so if you have a stubborn child, they're going to just keep running into the oak tree and smacking their head against it. But you're teaching them to go around the tree, And
So
sometimes it
you
takes a
don't
few
budge.
times,
you stay the oak tree.
You have to hold a boundary, or
But yeah, I think
Well, let me go back to the discipline with the hand. Like that's important to understand because the hand, to me, the hand is to embrace. It is to love. It is to hug your child. It's not to. They should never be afraid of your hand, and that's why I really like. I mean, like light little tap for a toddler here and there. Like
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that, but like I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna sit you down. We're gonna have a talk, and I'm gonna spank you with my hand. I just think that's
yeah.
use the hand for something else. Like
Yeah.
have a palka, have a whatever. If that's the route you're gonna go
Yeah.
with physical discipline, but use the hand to embrace, to hug, to hold.
That's exactly what it is. It's palka, then big hug.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you.
And,
Yeah.
You
and
know,
I think
and
really important. Let's pause there because you can discipline anyway, and then shut the door and leave all mad, or you can discipline and say, "Hey, I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. We're going to talk through this." And how our approach is, especially as they get older, is we talk about it, we pray through it, we apologize, and usually I'm like at the end, like, "I'm so sorry that I had to do this," and I'm apologizing for my discipline, which is
Yeah.
probably psychologically not a good thing to do, but like.
but there is a feeling like,
Yeah.
I did not want to do
Yeah.
this. I'm like, son, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this.
I want
but
them to feel
your
that.
action is causing
Yeah.
this response.
And then we leave that room both happy. You know,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
not still like,
Not bitter,
yeah, we're
not
nobody's
angry.
bitter. The kid's not like resenting. The kid's not shivering in bed, going to sleep because dad was angry again. So none of that. Like the kid goes to sleep feeling love and just the overwhelming love of the household and after discipline. And so that's really important.
But I don't think I'll ever be able to spank Scarlett. She's just perfect. There's
No,
nothing
you
wrong
won't.
with her. She
No.
is amazing. Let's
No.
talk about marriage a little bit. Why do you guys think relationships with your spouse, this is my thought, should be prioritized over your relationship with your kids? And if that is true, how do you go about that?
Want me to start? Well, I'll just start. I was like, obviously, it should be top priority. It is more important than children. The reality is that kids are with us 20 years, let's say, and then they leave, and then you're there with your wife and with your husband for the rest of your life. And the scariest thing is that kids leave, and we're like, "Hey, who are
What's
you?"
your name?
Like,
Who are you again?
yeah. And and the reality is they're gonna leave. Like we're feeling that with our 14 and 12-year-old. They're already by just normal development becoming more independent, distancing themselves from us. And so the reality is we're gonna be left together, and you don't want to relearn how to communicate, relearn romantic habits after the kids are out. No, you want to continue to prioritize and practice them now. And so for us, like. Now we're at a stage where we're like, man, you're like my only friend. Like, so we
He
gotta.
tells me that all the time.
She's like, you need to find
It's a lot of
friends."
pressure for Vicky.
I'm like,
bug her.
I got a couple more friends in this house. I don't know why I'm your only friend.
I bug her like sometimes if we're home alone together,
Yeah.
like I'll just bug her so much because I got nothing to do. If I have nothing to do,
Oh
and like it's important to me.
Yeah.
Because like the reality is like God has brought us together, and not just to multiply and have children, but really we're companions, we're soulmates,
100%.
we're best friends, and so we try to practically cultivate that as much as we can with our busyness. But you have to keep that a priority.
Alex went to the doctor one time to get a checkup, and the doctor asks him, I was with him too, because I had to force him to go to the checkup. And he's like, how is your relationship between each other? And Alex is like, okay, am I at a counseling session?
What is this? Check my
And
health,
he's
man.
like, he probably doesn't even remember this. I'm like, it's good. It's fine. Great, because I'm going to find out if you're stressed and how it's going to affect your tests, like your results. And I didn't even think about it. He's like, if you're stressed and you have strife at home between the parents, it's going to show up in your cholesterol. It's going to show
Wow.
up in your blood pressure. It's
Wow.
going to show up in your insulin
No
or
wonder
your
my
blood
stuff's so out of
sugar.
whack. No.
And I love that he said
Watch it.
that. He's, just a doctor and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
understands how that affects you. And it's so important to prioritize that relationship between each other because it seeps into every other category.
Yeah.
I love how Jesus uses our relationship to model Christ in the church. Jesus, when we prioritize our relationship with the Lord, everything else in our life just seems just makes sense, starts making sense. I can be a better mom. I can do this because I can pour out of that cup that he's filling me up with. And I'm thinking about our relationship. Like when our relationship is good, the other things that flow out of that are so much better. I'm not walking around upset.
Yeah.
I'm not, hurt people. If I have a relationship issue here, I'm going to hurt my children. I'm going to, hurt my friends or say things I shouldn't have said because there's so much tension. This is the most important relationship we can have.
Yeah.
And everything flows out of first our relationship with the Lord and then second our relationship with our spouse.
Really good.
Everything flows out of that in our life. And if you want to be a good mom, if you want to be a great friend and just thrive in life, focus on this. Like focus on this, focus on your relationship with the Lord, and then everything else is going to work itself out if you got that figured out.
And we always hear like loving each other is the best thing that you can do for your kids. And I definitely see this in myself. Like when we are not good, my attitude or my character affects the atmosphere of our home. Of course, Wesley's picking up on it. Maybe I'm providing all his physical needs, but if my attitude is wrong and I'm like setting just like a weird atmosphere in the house, then that's going to affect him. And so I definitely see that in our home.
Yeah, it's really good.
And as our kids got older, they started to even more sense that there's strife, there's tension in the household. Something is off. As they get older, they see the body language change. They see the mood change. They see something is off in the home. And so, like for us, man, like we've been very intentional to hide that from our kids if there is something between us. But at the same time, like not even allow anything to come into our house just for that.
This is good. Let's talk about that, like fighting well, because there's going to be conflict. There's sanctification. God's refining us.
Yeah.
What have you guys learned? Not even just with kids, without kids, doesn't matter. Like just like how to navigate it well.
Well, yeah, I'm the leader of the household, so I just let her win.
Very good. Did you hear that one? Write that one down.
I thought he was going to say, I just put my foot down, and that's the end of that.
Could I just say something?
Yeah.
Remember the thing Craig Rochelle says? Craig Rochelle's talking about marriage, and he's like,
So I put my foot down.
so I put my foot down, and she came crawling back to me, and she said, "Get out from under the bed and face me like a man."
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty.
And that's when fighting well.
That was good.
Yeah, go ahead, babe. You're smarter than me.
There you go.
I was just going to say for us and for every couple, I think I've heard this illustration. I don't know if it was from you or maybe
I'll
somebody
take
else.
it. I don't know.
We'll give it to
Hopefully it's
Johnny.
good. I'll take it on the front end though.
Yeah. So it's you and your spouse on one side and the issue on the opposite side of the room. It's never you and your issue and your spouse on the opposite side of the room, because what you're doing is you're siding with this issue and your spouse is against you. So you're always like fighting this way. You're fighting for each other. You are fighting for a sense to grow your relationship, to be stronger together. You see the issue. The issue is not your spouse.
Really
You
good.
really have to fight that sin together. And obviously that takes two willing people. So we have to grow and work on that. But pride says that there's going to be a battle between us and we're just going to fight. Like that's what happens when you have two prideful people.
Yeah.
When you have two humble people, you see this as an opportunity to grow. Like how can this situation help us to grow?
Really good.
And obviously, when we're in a fight, we're not like, hey, how can we grow better now?
Yeah, emotions are high.
Emotions are high and things are going. So it has to be in the back of your mind. It's something that you have to live with. And both of you have to just have in the back of your mind, because you're going to say things that you probably shouldn't say.
Yeah.
So if you have that mindset that this is an opportunity for both of us to grow, then I feel like you're fighting. You learn how to
I think
fight
that's
well.
really good.
And I think what we've learned, or what she's done a great job, is like she's learned, like if it's a heated moment, to leave that room, to go outside, go for a walk, go upstairs, just so there's not more harm done or pain or things you say that in the heat of the moment. So walk away, get a breather, get some fresh air, and then come
Clear
back
your
into the
mind,
situation.
yeah.
And I'm more like, hey, we got into it. Like, hey, let's move on. Hey, you want to be friends again? And she's more like, I got to process it. So she takes longer.
Yeah.
But, I remembered a book, Sacred Marriage by Gary Thomas.
Yeah,
and in his book, he says that
Really good.
it takes about 9 years for the couple, a married couple, to get to that oneness. And they should become one. It doesn't just happen on because the pastor announced at the wedding
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't just happen after the first night. It takes time of the unity and the bond to really happen through years of tension, through years of
Yeah.
sanctification, through years of iron sharpens iron, and so. I mean, we're way past that now. We're at year 15 almost, so we're one.
One as it gets.
Yeah, but it just takes a lot
Yeah.
of like intentional being, and I like to talk things through, and I think it's important to like, what was the fight about? What did
Yeah,
we learn
what
from it?
triggered
Like,
it, yeah.
okay, how do we not end up over there again? Like, I don't want to continue to do this every other month.
Yep.
How do we stop this from being an issue in the
So
marriage?
good.
Another thing, I mentioned this before, something we were having at church, but we tend to forget that a fruit of the spirit is self-control. So we use that self-control in times of these moments, like, so you don't have to go back, because there's some words that you're going to say in those times where they're never going to forget those kind of words. And you have to remember that you are, a child of God, and you have self-control, and you're going to use it in this moment, and you're going to
Where else?
hold back. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, perfect time. You're going to hold back, and you're not going to say things that you don't mean, because 5 minutes later, sometimes I'll even say it. By the time I'm done saying it, I'm like, oh crap.
What did I just say?
He's not going to let me live that down. So you have to be careful, you have to use
Yeah.
discernment, and you have to be wise.
I think just kind of on this topic, like, man, if we can just learn to forgive each other,
It's really
like
good.
Christ learned to forgive us,
A
like,
lot of grace.
man, if there's grace in the home, like, be agents of grace, not like forcing the law, like always trying to go after each other. If we just display love and forgiveness towards each other, big fight, little fight, it covers a multitude of sins. And when we love each other like that, and so that's kind of like we're building something greater than this moment right now that we're in.
Yeah.
Let's get through this. Let's forgive. Let's move on. Let's heal.
Yeah.
It's really good. Any other thoughts on that?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really good.
yeah, it's super good. I always think about like what you were saying, Vicky. Like the problem, what I've found, and it's been very helpful. The problem is me. It's just like, sure,
Deanna's like,
my
yeah.
spouse
that's
has
right.
my spouse has flaws too, but it's like
Yeah.
I'm lacking in loving. I'm lacking in sacrifice. I'm lacking in forgiving. I'm lacking in. So it's like the more I can make
It's
it
not the other
me,
person,
make
it's
it
always-
you. How can I grow? This thing, marriage is sanctifying us. It's Gary Thomas for your holiness, not your happiness. And so it's like, man, yeah. And then you're 15 years in, and you're like, yo, I love my marriage, and we're healthy, and it's pure and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So play the long game, everybody. Play the long game. Kind of on Ephesians 5, we touched on it. There's that whole wives submit. That's your husband. He's the head. Husbands, lay down your life. What does that look like? Because we referenced that. I just did a wedding. I talk all the time. Like, just do we fully know? Like, what does that maybe look like? What does it look like in your
Yeah.
guys' marriage?
In our marriage is the way I understand it biblically is like I have the mandate, the responsibility as the household leader. I'm the head of the house, and not so much like I'm better or greater or more important in God's eyes. It's just the way that God designed life and order is I'm here to lead. That doesn't mean that Vicky's a second class citizen or not as important. She has a different grace, a different gifting in our household of how she leads, of how she serves. And so when it comes to submitting, I think we kind of abuse that word, and it doesn't exactly mean like,
Yeah.
in the marriage, it's more of like just honoring and putting each other first,
Yeah.
ahead of each other.
Good.
And the way I just look at Vicky is like she is, before she's my wife, before she's the mother of my children, she's a child of God.
That'll change
She's
things.
a daughter of the King of Kings, the
Yep.
Lord of Lords, and man, how can I honor her as the daughter of the King? How can I treat her well? How do I lead her well? And I think
Does
in
that ever
marriage,
scare you? Sorry.
yeah,
Like I'm just like I think about my dad. I was like, dude,
pressure.
I'll lose. I'll go to jail. But
Yeah.
like imagine the Father in heaven.
so like that kind of changes your perspective on how we treat one another. And I think for men to understand this, if you're in your right place with your relationship with God, if you're in your right position as a leader of the household, there will not be much issues of submission. There won't be a wife that's kind of be like, I gotta dethrone this guy and really take his
Yeah.
place and be the leader of the household. I'm like,
Dethrone.
no, like
Why you coming after me like that, huh?
there's not any of that, I don't think, going on. And so like if the man's in his right place, the way God established, leading his household well, leading them to God, to church, like the wife will gladly be excited that he's leading the family. And Am I right or am I wrong?
You know, something I love about Alex, I just thought of this. When we drive, I'm always the one like telling the kids like, stop doing that or stop doing that. I love when he sits there, puts his big boy face on, and he's like, everybody cut it out. Alex, give me your phone. And he just like starts. I'm like, okay,
That's how it's
He's
done.
in charge.
you're leading. I am just going to sit here. And they listen. When
Yeah,
I
there's something there.
50,000 times will say something, they don't listen. So I love when he, I don't know if you noticed that, but I love when he takes authority. But for submitting, I think this whole feminist movement kind of, you know, came in there and started taking this word and really, really just like degrading that word. If your husband is truly a follower of Christ and he is the leader in the home, like be the leader that your wife wants to follow. Once you're, you know, you got this relationship going on, like your wife is not going to have any issues following you or submitting to you.
Yeah.
And it is a role of mine to submit to my husband. Things that he asks me to do that are from Christ, that are not breaking the law. Like today, he asked me to almost run a red light. I'm like, I don't have to listen to you because you're asking me to break the law.
So
Things
great.
that are that he's you know leading our home in good things. It is should be a joy for a wife to follow.
yeah.
Like it takes the responsibility off of me. I love when he parents the kids. I love when he enforces, hey, it's reading time right now. Everybody get a book. And like I'm like, okay, so I'll go get a book too. But that's what a wife wants. A wife doesn't want to do that. That's not what God called me to do. God didn't call me to lead my home. He called him to lead the home and for me to submit to that. And then the kids will submit because it's just kind of how it works.
Yeah.
And I love how Jesus modeled that for us. Came as the ultimate authority, washing the disciples' feet.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that? You know? And me over here, not even close to that calling, and I can't serve my husband. Like, how am I bigger than God? Am I bigger than what he modeled for me?
Wow.
It is
Powerful.
definitely something that I have to think about. Like, if God came to serve and submit and to serve people and to lay down his life, and, you know, who am I to walk over here with that much pride in my heart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so good.
and to come after the men for a minute, that verse probably scares me more, not scares me, but like just puts more weight on me than any other verse. Love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
And he laid down his life for her.
Yeah. Those are powerful words.
Powerful.
Yeah.
She just hurt me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's exactly what they did to Jesus. She sinned against me. Well, that's exactly what they did to Jesus. Forgive, love her, show grace, be patient. I'm like, oh, Lord, help me. Holy Spirit,
big
fill
weight.
me. Yeah, so important. And then the reverence thing. I mean, and then the submission thing. I never really noticed this, but the verse prior to that section, the New Living Translation will put it in the same section, but like ESV and others have it in a different section. It says, verse 21 of chapter 5, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. For wives, it means to submit to your husbands. And so there's a one another submission. And
Yeah.
that was because I was doing the wedding. I was looking at logos at that word submit, and it literally means like to kind of like bow. So it's like, hey, you bow, and then I bow. And we're like serving each other. I think the word serve is really good there.
Yeah,
It's both
very
of you
good.
serving each other. Super important. I don't know. Any closing thoughts on marriage before we do some quick takes?
I think if we learn that Ephesians 5:21, husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church, there will be very little issues of submitting
Oh,
and
Yeah.
order and
Forget
structure.
it.
So it all starts
Yes.
from the house. A whole leader, husband, lead
Yep.
well, serve, submit, and I think if the husbands lead well and serve well and submit well, the family will be in order. The kids will understand
Good.
their place. The wife will be happy to lead alongside, and so, in our family of 15 years, we've never had the issue of, who's in charge.
Yeah.
How does she submit? How does she not submit? We never really even talk about it. We just love each other, serve each other, forgive
it.
each other,
That's
and
it.
that whole like I'm in charge, you're in charge. Like that's childish.
Yeah.
Those kind of debates and
It's really
arguments.
good.
So
Super
that's
good.
my closing thought. I don't
Come
know if
on,
that was a strong
helpful.
one.
May the Lord
Very
help
good.
us. May the Lord help us. Okay, cool. So some quick takes, kind of fun. And these are supposed to be like, just don't get hung up
Rapid
on it.
fire.
And we'll all kind of share. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And so since we're talking like relationships and things, favorite restaurant for a date, dinner,
I
breakfast,
don't know
lunch?
if we have a favorite restaurant for a date, but the most common one would be Japanese sushi in Bellevue, in the Lincoln South Tower. It's basically, oftentimes we end up in Bellevue for date night,
Okay.
sushi, mall, park nearby.
Yeah, for me, it's anything with oysters and seafood.
You and your oysters, girl.
I love
They're
oysters.
not good. You're lying to
I'm
yourself.
sorry. I'm
said
gonna
that-
have to make you guys go with us.
She sent me a new link
Nah,
this
we'll
morning.
pass.
I sent him an oysters link this morning. I'm like, you're taking us here.
Oh, okay. So you guys like seafood. So that's
Yeah.
sushi, oysters.
For us, we go often more not like dinner, but we'll go to ice cream. So I would pick like ice cream date over restaurant.
Which one?
Date.
Or
Which-
Mexican food. That's our favorite.
Which ice cream spot?
Molly Moon's is
Molly
like our
Moon's.
go-to.
Oh, yeah.
Bellevue?
If we're in Bellevue, Molly Moons.
You know,
So good.
Salt and Straw just moved there. We went there on
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes,
We
now
did
we've
see
got
that.
some
Yeah.
competition,
People check it out.
baby. For me, it's Dana's Boiler. We've only been twice,
Yeah.
but it's like you go there, it's like old money, you know. It's
Yeah.
just like old. We don't got old money.
We've gone with 2 gift cards.
Yeah, we don't got money. We go with
We got
gift
old
cards.
gift cards.
But if we can go, like,
Yeah.
it's just
My
like
favorite.
there's something about being
Yeah.
there. You dress up, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Finish the sentence. Some couples need to blank. Positive, negative, whatever. Some couples need to. Pastor Alex, you go
Grow up.
first. Grow up. Okay, real good. Some couples need to. Vicky.
Man, he took mine. I would say some couples need to practice humility.
You guys are deep. I was like, I don't know. Okay, go.
Mine's some couples need to go on a road trip. And I'm just thinking about like that's where all our best like memories and conversations
really
happen.
good.
So it's deep in that way.
Mine is some couples need to kiss more.
Hey.
Wow.
Come on. We were like, the other day, you know, like, you need to kiss me. I'm like, you're right. You know, I like kissing you.
You know, just on top before we continue,
Yeah.
like I started to be more intentional of how I hug and kiss my wife around my kids.
Yes. let them
And
see
I
it.
thought before we're like, oh, you know, that's weird. And
Hiding.
now we're like trying to show that, and it gets my daughters always excited because they always jump in the middle of the hug. You know, they want in on the action. And so
yeah,
like,
same.
funny.
That's a good
so
one.
good. Okay. Recent sweet family memory. Recent
I
sweet
wouldn't. I
family
wouldn't
memory.
call it sweet, but we
Oh,
we
no.
went to Big Island,
to Hawaii
to Hawaii. Big Island got stuck in the worst
weather.
wet rainstorm of our life. Probably.
Oh,
Maybe
I
it wasn't the
remember
worst.
this, yeah.
Good thing we packed rain jackets, but we got to Black Sand Beach, and I remember
It was
like
pouring.
it was like when you put your hood down, it was just like a shower.
Waterfall.
And I was just
Like
looking
a
at
roof.
Alex, and I was just like, what are we doing here? Is this our vacation? Is this our life right now?
We
But we made it
basically-
through.
But the video was sweet.
Yeah.
I saw the video. and I was
It
like, yo,
was.
oh,
It was
man.
fun. We will never forget
the,
it.
point, the
ever.
point is that it was a discouraging trip overall because a lot of rain, more than you expect in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then we got to this beach, which had a lot of heavy rain. And so we're like, we're going to just make fun of this. And so we
on.
put on our raincoats. It was warm rain. We were walking into the water. We were splashing. We were getting hit by waves. It was special. It was so fun.
So
It was
cool.
supposed to be. We got there with very negative attitude. We left like, wow, that was probably one of the best memories that we've had in Hawaii
Way to
in
bounce
all our
back.
years.
That's
so
what it is.
It was a very
that was fun
Get
memories.
stung by a bee sometimes.
Yeah.
This is important for you. What do you got?
I think for me, it's our recent trip to Victoria. We just
Ah,
had
yeah,
so much
so
time together. It was our
sweet.
first trip taking our baby with us. So it was like just a lot of good family time. Wesley got to go swimming. We got to have a lot of good food.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
that
I'll
trip.
take that too. And then I'll probably just say when we were in front of the Empress Building, whatever, that nice hotel, and Wesley was chasing a bee by the flowers. It was just so fun.
He
was
said,
just like,
"Bumblebee!"
I was like,
Run.
buddy, don't chase it.
He's never got
"Chase
stung.
it."
No,
Yeah,
not
he
yet.
got stung
excited.
Go to sentimental songs, so like love song or like family song. We mentioned one song in here. What's a song that's like it'll get you in your feels?
Go, baby.
My song is kind of lame because it's overplayed, but it kind of goes along what you were saying
Yep.
the other day. My song is "You're Gonna Miss This," and every time I listen to this,
You're
I
gonna
cry.
want
And I
this
think the
back.
reason it's so sentimental is because I have teenagers, and now it's like
close.
for you guys, it's still like, oh, one day,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
seems
it,
far.
it gets there. You go to that one day, and you're like, oh no, you're gonna miss this.
Over the years, for kids, I try to find a special song for each kid. And for Alex, there's this song I think by the country guys Atkins. He's Mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's mine.
yeah,
that
one. Yeah,
one.
that's my song, and I'm always like proud of singing that. I sing it so loud in the car with
He's
Alex.
so embarrassed.
I love it. What you got, Deanna?
I think for me, the last few days and weeks, it's been these are the days because it's just like such a sweet one. It's
Yeah.
like what we're living
Corey
in right now. The
Asbury.
bedtime stories,
Corey
the goodnight
Asbury,
kisses,
everybody.
the goodnight kisses. So I think that's what it'd be.
I don't know the song, but I just know the lyrics. I always sing it when it turns on our love playlist. I'll never be worthy of you.
Oh my gosh.
I sing it with like such a passion. Deanna always hates it. You know, I tried to look it up today. I couldn't find it. But yeah, that's my song. It's somewhere on our playlist. Okay, Mount Rushmore of favorite books. Mount Rushmore has 4 presidents. Do you know them? You would know them. I looked it up yesterday,
Yeah.
so I know them. Let's quiz you.
No, I don't know them. So it'll be George Washington, Abraham Lincoln,
George, Abe, yep.
Theodore Roosevelt,
Yep. You're there.
and Eisenhower.
No. I live by that school.
Jefferson. Wow.
Jefferson's on
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
okay.
those are the
Did it.
4. Okay, so each one of us are going to pick a book. You know your history. A book related to something that we talked about: ministry, family, marriage. That we would say, hey, this has got to be on the Mount Rushmore books that you read.
It's hard for me to say Mount Rushmore. I read a handful of books. One book that came to mind that's really good is called The Collapse of Parenting. It's written by, I forgot who it's written by, but it's like a highly educated doctor in her field or his field. I think that it was Dr. Sachs. Anyways, it talks about parenting overall, the dinner table that we talked about, screen time, all that stuff. And it's not so much, I believe he has Christian background, but it's not a Christian book in a sense. So The Collapse of Parenting is the one I would recommend.
Good.
Something I'll share before I say my book. Something I do is like a pro tip if anybody cares.
Love this. We do care.
Alex thinks this is like the worst trait that I have, but I will not finish books. So I will start 50,000 books. I will finish them eventually. But why
Eventually.
I do this intentionally because I will read a little bit all the time, and then it helps me grow in that area constantly. So like sometimes I'll read a marriage book, I'll put it away, and I won't read another one for 5 years, and I'm not intentionally growing in that. But if I'm doing a parenting book, health book,
Taking a little from
She's
me.
and
reading
I
about-
just
You're
take,
multiple books and you
She's
just
reading
kinda-
about 5-7 books at
and
a time.
I'm always
which is
like
not a good
focusing
thing.
on something.
Interesting.
There's a book that I pick up that I read often called Glow Kids that I read
Yeah.
all the time, and my kids hate when I pull that book out. Again,
The
New
rules
rules.
changed that
New rules
week.
are coming.
I'm like, it's a big book. Give me your phone. No. But that's something that I would say that is a great book for teenagers. Start it young. Start when your kids are young, but just learn the effects of technology. Knowledge is power. Know what you're going to do and implement that in your life.
Yep, applying that. So on that, you taught me this, like, read books in seasons of life that you're in. You have multiple hats, and so you can't just read faith books, which are really good. You should, but not just read, leadership books, like different hats. And so I've been trying to be intentional, like you,
Read a little
and
bit
it
of
being
everything.
multiple books. Maybe
Yeah.
not like 7, but just a couple.
I think
it
I'm at
actually
like 15.
7?
I'm at like 15.
Oh,
I'm
dang.
not even
Wow,
joking.
that's amazing.
15 is a lot.
Yeah, she has books like upstairs in her bed drawer by her bed. She has like 6 books in there probably,
I have, like,
and it
couple.
freshes me
Whenever
'cause
when you
it's
feel like
heavy.
reading.
And then downstairs by where we
It's
read
just
downstairs.
everywhere.
And
I
so
love that. What you got, Deanna? What's your book?
I think for me, one of my favorite authors is Paul David Tripp, and he has a
Yeah.
marriage book and a parenting book, and those 2 books are like just life changing.
They're so foundational. I'll go kind of basic. Francis Chan, You and Me Forever. It gives like an idea of marriage in the light of like, hey, we have a goal,
Yeah.
a mission, which is God, His purposes, eternity. Okay, beautiful. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you've made it this far, I think we're like an hour 20 into this thing. We would ask for you just to like, subscribe, do all the things. But really, we're on the church channel now, so subscribe to the church channel. We've got great sermons weekly that get posted. Monthly, there'll be podcast content. And then just remember, if you keep moving your faith forward, your best days will be ahead of you. We believe that with all of our heart. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you on the next episode.